What is going on, YouTube family? Back with another video for you guys. Today, I'm going to be looking at the charts, technical analysis breakdown, and also giving you an outlook for the week ahead, just to kind of let you understand what things is lining up as, okay? Now, this is something that I'm going to be doing quite frequently on my channel now. Now, in regards to, just analyzing the charts and bringing you what it is that could potentially happen, and kind of like a forecast, if you want to call it that, for what I'm seeing, okay? Now, we're still in January. Now, why that's important to kind of understand as well is that things are still setting in terms of just the macroeconomic trend. And I've got a video that I'm going to be dropping on that later this week as well. So definitely tune into that. It's going to be more of an understanding of, why you don't need to be rushing into the markets to start the year. And, letting macro triggers happen within the world in terms of just speeches from politicians, presidents, central bankers. You kind of want to see what they're saying, engage what they're saying going into the year, and it will give you a clearer picture of what you could potentially start projecting for whatever your pairs are. Okay, so yeah, guys, I want to kind of start with the dollar, and before I do so, I want you to always understand that we need to be checking what is going on from the economic calendar week in, week out. Okay, because obviously, when you have certain things scheduled, you don't want to be blindsided, okay? So if you haven't already checked out what the economic calendar is saying, you might be a bit behind in what's actually scheduled, why your pair's potentially moving slower, why the volume's decreasing, why you're potentially in a range. All of these things add up to, what news events are being released, okay? So earlier this morning, we had unemployment data for the Great British Pound, which is better than expected. So that's actually boosted the pound this morning. And going into tomorrow, we have World Economic Forum meetings. So that's happening all of this week. So that's something that you want to be aware of as well. Because if you don't know what happens in the World Economic Forum annual meeting is, again, they start to discuss what the rollout and what the plan is that they're trying to do. Normally negative stuff, to be honest, in terms of just, it's going to impact society negatively. But that's going to be the leading, one of the leading factors as to what the projections are on a macro scale. Okay, so you really need to understand that. We also have a speech from President Trump scheduled tomorrow as well. So it's no coincidence that with the World Economic Forum meetings and then Trump speaking out that is scheduled, you're starting to understand why you need to kind of just hold fire, especially in the month of July. Take what you can kind of get with your setups, but hold fire to start seeing the real picture develop in weeks and months to come, right? So that's scheduled for tomorrow, and then going into Thursday, you've got some unemployment data for the Aussie, for those that trade Aussie pairs. You got some GDP for the US as well. Friday, you have the Bank of Japan policy rate. Now, that is one of the things that I'm going to be discussing as well in my macroeconomic video. The Bank of Japan is going to be a heavy focus, in my opinion, for this year. Main reason because of some of the comments and some of the articles I've been seeing and what's been coming out. So definitely tune in when I release that later this week. Tune into what I'm saying about the yen. Even if you don't trade the yen, you need to understand how the yen itself as a currency affects everything in the market, right? I'm talking indices, I'm talking commodities. Everything is affected by if the yen goes up and down in strength. Okay, so really important to understand that. So the monetary policy coming out of the yen is going to be very important this week, even if you don't trade it. We also have retail sales and then a couple PMI manufacturing data for GBP and the USD as well as the euro. Okay, so there's a few things high impact that could be affecting the charts. Going into the dollar, since opening, basically, we've literally just come down for 2 days in a row now, which is fine, no problem. At the end of the day, what we could see on a weekly picture is we kind of pushed up for the, since the start of January, we've been pushing up pretty well, and then we're having a potential pullback. So what I'm seeing now, and an area that I'm potentially monitoring, is where we have price gets inside this imbalanced area. I want to see how we start reacting here if we're going to literally close through and close past it on this weekly level. Okay, so really important to monitor that. Right now, also what we can see is we have also played into an imbalance here and filled that, and we've since filling that, we've obviously got the move that we've got to start this week as well. So overall, I am still bearish on the dollar. Okay, I'm not bullish on the dollar at all. So I do think overall for the year, okay, we will see this continue down lower. It's just where are we going to start seeing the top of the year basically made? Okay, where is the top going to be? And that's in my opinion, still undecided in terms of just we haven't fully seen it start melting and every time frame on the higher spectrum turn bearish. We haven't seen that yet. Okay, so one weekly candle with it opening the way it's open doesn't mean it's going to end. It's only Tuesday right now, so we need to kind of figure out what's going on. So with it being inside that weekly area, one thing I would say is that we have seen some bearish momentum again. So from Monday's opening, which was, sorry, over here, we've seen the markets basically tank down here. And then going into Tuesday, we've seen it gap up, and then we've started tanking down again. Okay, now this is without any real high impact data actually scheduled. The only thing that's happening is the World Economic Forum meeting. So that's the only, that could be one of the only reasons as to why we're seeing this happen at the moment. And you know, is all the markets are going to be affected with the dollar basically pushing down how it is. Now going into GBPUSD, what we've seen is obviously the unemployment data. You could see where we gap down here and we've opened here, and again we've had a 2-day push to the upside. Okay, so in my opinion, right, with us pushing to the upside, I think we're going to need some pullbacks to begin with. But if we are going to continue up, there is reasons to do so based off of just we had price within this area, and then going into Tuesday, we've literally invalidated this 4-hour eye candle area here, and we've pushed through it. Okay, so since doing that, what I would then look for is just a continuation going into the afternoon to get above these highs. I don't see any other thing that the market is likely to be doing. That's all I've really got in store for that. So I think we're going to now target these highs, and then how we react off of that is, you know, what we need to kind of look out for. Same thing for EURUSD. Now with EURUSD, what I would say is that on the weekly time frame, we are in a weekly range in terms of just we're not really going anywhere. You can see that we're kind of going up, going down, up and down. So in terms of just actually trending on a bigger time frame, it's not really doing so. Okay, it's kind of just pivoting between all of these points here, right? So it doesn't mean there is an opportunity on you know, the smaller time frames. 4-hour, you can see there is a lot of bullish volume from this morning. So in my opinion, if we are to start targeting these highs, we are going to need a retracement of some sort. I'm not just going to buy it from where it is, but I do think there is reasons now on the 4-hour where we could potentially look to target these highs if we can get a pullback. You can see some of my alerts that I set. This is something that I'm going to be giving to my community. They're the ones on, you know, that are going to get the breakdown of what exactly I'm looking at. So if you want access to my community as well, the link is in the description. So you can join for free. It doesn't cost you to do so. But yeah, that's where the breakdown is going to be there. So that's what I'm seeing for the majors based off of what the dollar is doing right now. Now, if President Trump comes in and, you know, make something happen with the dollar in terms of bullishness, you don't know what he's going to say, but anything he does say, you know, whether it's to do with what the plans are for the economy and stuff, it could affect the price of the dollar. So just be careful of that going into tomorrow. Okay, now lastly, I've got US oil. US oil has been doing very, very exceptionally well in regards to just clear and concise movement. So for me, in regards to just what we're seeing, we've got some lows here that I think eventually are going to be taken out, and then we've also got some highs as well where we've played into higher time frame areas and kind of reacted to the downside, right? So I'm thinking for this, if we pull back up, maybe taking out Friday's highs, that's kind of something I'm interested in seeing as well, and then we could start to potentially start pushing down lower. Okay, so just monitoring at the moment. Let me know if there's any pairs you guys want me to cover as well in future outlooks and stuff like that. Let me know if you've enjoyed this video as well. If you have, please like and subscribe and comment if you want access to my exclusive community. So hopefully this video has done you well, guys. Like I said, it's something that I'm going to be introducing to my channel, and just, you know, giving you an insight into certain times you're not necessarily going to be in a trade. Okay, you're just going to have to wait some days, and that's okay. So don't force anything, especially for the month of January, because again, we kind of need to see how things are going to play out on a macroeconomic scale. And then once we can kind of get confirmation of that, then you're going to know where to look for the opportunities in the market. Okay. So hopefully this video has helped you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Thank you for watching the latest episode. If you like that, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content. I'll see you on the next video.